Hello, beautiful people. I'm really excited today to just tell you all that book 7 in the Teapot Cottage series is now available. It's out, it's been released, and it's available for purchase on all of the literary platforms. And when I've posted this video, I will put the link in the comments. But I'm really excited about this. It's book 7, it's the violet cover. For those who are collecting the paperbacks to represent the rainbow on your bookshelf, this is the final book of the rainbow, and it's the penultimate book in the series. There's one more to come. I was only going to write 7, but another one popped up. So I'm working on that now, and that one will be available late October, early November. But this book, it's called From Raw to Very Well Done, and it's about a 29-year-old chef called Wendy Whitelaw. She's a top chef. She's at the top of her game in the UK, but she's had a career whoopsie, and she's fallen from grace, and she's arrived at Teapot Cottage in a screaming heap, trying to figure out what to do with her life. She's trying to reinvent herself and trying to lick her wounds and recover from mass criticism and a lot of hate mail and all sorts of horrible, icky things that have happened. And she goes on quite a journey, as all the characters do in the Teapot Cottage short series, and she ends up in a place where she once never imagined that she would end up. And that's typical of most of the characters in most of the novels. And in this book, you'll meet all sorts of interesting characters. You'll meet Wendy. You'll meet Billy Briggs, who is a bit of a spoiled brat. He's a property developer, and feels like he's been shafted in life, so he's angry and he's upset and he's trying to find someone to blame, and he's got to get his house in order too. And we also meet a very intriguing character called Tabitha, and we meet Wendy's mum, Gail, and her best friend, Trish. And there are other people who pop up in this novel that have popped up in previous ones, the normal matriarchs that prevail throughout the series rear up again and lend their support and their advice to Wendy as she tries to pull her life back together. So this is a very lovely book. I think I really enjoyed writing this one. There's a couple of almost naughty bits in it, but not quite. That's me kind of stretching myself as an author. They're not really that naughty, but it just alludes to things that haven't really been alluded to in some of the previous novels. But hey, come on, she's 29. She's a red-blooded female, right? And without putting any spoilers into it, these two, Wendy and Billy, they collide and they are busting each other's butts, really. They are just really butting heads, and they literally cannot get along to save themselves, and each one of them would cheerfully murder the other and walk away with nothing on their conscience. So developing those characters in parallel was a pretty interesting challenge for me, but that was part of the fun, I think. And bringing some other quirky and interesting people into the mix is always good fun. And talking about retrospective villains as well is always good fun. So that's been a fun book to write, actually. And the next one, the final book in the series, will be released late October, early November. And that's the story of, well, it's a story that's in 2 parts. It kind of finishes the series because it's Adie's 60th birthday. She's born on Christmas Eve, and the Ravensdown Christmas party happens every year on Christmas night. So it's a double banger celebration for her. And a lot of the previous tenants who have stayed at Teapot Cottage are invited to this party. So we get to see where they are in life, a few years on from when we first met them in previous books. And without putting too fine a point on that either, the second part of the book centers on a huge event that happens within the Raven family that sets the tone for the end of the Teapot Cottage series and the start of a brand new series that will start next year. So this particular book, this one I'm working on now, is going to be the end. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, actually. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to let go of some of these people. But I think all I can say while this new series starts to take shape in my head is that some of the characters we know and are so familiar with will pop up in some form. As yet, I have still to decide what that is, but that's the challenge that I've set myself for 2026. So From Raw to Very Well Done is now available to purchase. And if you like it or any of my novels, please, please, please go onto the platform that you've bought it from and write me a review. Reviews are the lifeblood of an author, and we can't grow or learn more, we can't be noticed, and people don't find out about us to even know what we're doing or whether or not it's any good. So, if you do enjoy my work, please put the word out there and tell the world about these books, because obviously the more people who read them, the more people can be inspired by their content. And that was the whole point of all of this. It was all to inspire older women primarily, but people of both genders and all ages, to feel inspired by the fact that no matter what happens in life, you can recover. And sometimes the life you go on to rebuild and go on to have can be something that you never imagined in a million years for yourself, but you end up in a happier place. And, that is representative of life. I see it all the time around me. I've seen it in my work in a historical context. I'm a survivor myself of various different traumas, so I know that it's possible to rebuild. And these stories, they're funny and they're lighthearted on the surface, but there's always really important messages behind them. So if you haven't yet taken a dip into the Teapot Cottage pool, go for a paddle, see what you think. Buy No Small Change. That was the first book, No Small Change by Annie Cook. I'll put the link in the comments to that one too. But you might enjoy the series if you're a woman of a certain age and groping around for something. There's not an awful lot of fiction out there that might interest you. Maybe you could give these a shot. All right, so I'm excited today. I'm coming to you from a hotel room in Latina. That's just halfway between Rome and Naples on the west side of Italy. My husband is working this week close to here, so I've tagged along. I've got the dogs with me. They're spark out on the floor because it's quite hot still, but it is cooler here than it's been, in Italy over the last few weeks. It's been pretty hot here, but I can see the ocean from the window here, and it's beautiful, and the sun is shining through the clouds, and it's a more gentle day. So I might actually get out for a walk with them today, because it's been too hot to take them out over recent weeks, which we don't normally have a problem doing because we've got a lot of land around our house, so they run anyway. But when we're in a situation like this, like in a high-rise hotel, I do have to take them for a walk, so I do have to be mindful of their poor little paws on hot pavements and things like that. So we've got to pick our times. But today looks reasonable, so we're going to make the most of it. We're too far to walk to the beach, but maybe we'll drive down there later and take them for a paddle in the water and cool their feet down a little bit. Anyway, I'm starting to witter now, aren't I? I'm starting to digress a little bit, but I'm so excited about this book being available today. So just wanted to kind of throw that at you and, enjoy. Download the book or buy the paperback and take it on holiday if you're still going on your hollywops. Still got that plan, take a good book. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.